Kozlowski. David Gilliland's best short track start and finish have come at Bristol. Now he is 32nd in car owner points. This number 38 is. Robert Richardson drove it at Daytona and Gilliland since. So they're fighting to stay in the top 35.
You know, you go back to Mark Martin's lap, and Darrell well documented this in practice. As slick as this track is and there's a little bit of grip, you're not going to sit on the pole by how deep you drive it in the corner. You're going to sit on the pole by getting the thing to turn and get it to come off the corner.
Wow. That's second for Gilliland. That fast practice lap was no fluke.
No, that's a great lap, and he's doing exactly what we're talking about, Larry. He's rolling in easy, but, man, he got back on the throttle really hard on that first lap.
Yeah, he stayed up there on the practice sheet most of that practice session.
Two really good laps, a 61 and a 64.
Bring up Kevin Conway, his teammate Travis Kvapil, and Marcos Ambrose. Kevin Conway has two nationwide series starts at this speedway. The 31-year-old from Lynchburg, Virginia is right on the verge of falling out of the top 35 in owner points.
And of course, what's important about that, this is the last race that goes by last year's owner's points. When we go to Martinsville, it'll be to the current owner points, and right now we have 7 teams. It's 33rd through 39th, separated by only 48 points.
I think Kevin's really done a pretty nice job, though, Larry, to no more experience than he has, and he's battling to stay in the top 35. I think that's a pretty good job.
Well, the one thing he's doing, he's not worried.
Of 15, 6/10 off of what Mark Martin's current pole time is. Dick?
And I'm with Kurt Busch, and I think you have an unfair advantage. It's just not fair for a guy that has won 5 times here to now have the crew chief that won both races last year. Does that seem fair to you?
I'm stoked. I can't wait to get this qualifying lap underway and just to see what our track time can be like tomorrow, because we struggle a little bit matching what I knew and what Steve knew today, but I think we got a great game plan for tomorrow, but we'll survive qualifying with the Miller Lite Dodge right now.
That is the look of confidence right there.
Oh, you said it. Here's Travis Kvapil. Kvapil is just 10 points ahead of that 35th place cutoff.
I think I've seen that a little bit between Kurt and the crew chief. They're struggling with two ideas. Here's what I did last year. Here's what I did last year. Saw it in Atlanta, but when it came time to race, they put it together.
And Steve Addington told me that at Auto Club Speedway. He says, that's tough. He said, I've won as many races as anybody's second to...
Speed's coverage of NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying is presented by Subway Restaurants. Now any regular footlong is just $5. Any, so hurry. And brought to you by Hot Tub Time Machine, rated R, in theaters everywhere, March 26th. See more at kicksomePast.com. And by Harley-Davidson, the Ride Easy Guarantee going on now at your Harley-Davidson dealer. David Stremme in for Boris Said this week as the short track specialist, trying to get the Air National Guard, number 26, into the show.
It's just good to see sponsorship on this car. I talked to owner Bill Jenkins about a week and a half ago, and he said they wanted to just give the Air National Guard some of the recognition that they don't get for what they do for our country.
Now, he is in the show. He's in a top 35 car, but they want to try to stay in the top 30 qualifying.
I think we could have a surprise or two in this little group, particularly the guy that goes out last.
The guy that Dick just talked to.
The guy that has the funny hair.
10 drivers looking for 8 spots. Bobby Labonte will have one of those 8 spots despite tearing up a car in practice, as he is a past champion. Scott Speed the quickest, and then here's Joe Nemechek. No front row starts for Joe here, but 2 third row starts. He'll be making his 29th appearance at Bristol if he can get in the show.
And these guys, with sending 2 cars home, they are absolutely sitting on a stove and sweating ice water, because if you underdrive, you may not be fast enough to make the show. If you overdrive, you may not get in the show. So they are walking a tightrope.
Joe picked up Computer Works, a small chain of stores in Knoxville, Tennessee. Speed's coverage of Sprint Cup qualifying from Bristol is presented by Subway Restaurants. Now any regular footlong is just $5. Any, so hurry. And brought to you in part by eHarmony.com. Are you ready to fall in love? Michael Waltrip in a number he helped make famous, though now it belongs to Prism Motorsports.
I think
Michael
he got
trying to make his 48th Bristol start.
I'm not so sure he didn't get it against the wall. Looked mighty close, and he was kind of wiggling like he did.
35th on the first lap, slower than Nemechek.
But I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. He's
could be the margin between go and go home. Here is Mike Bliss, looking to make his 100th Cup start. 35th in owner points, tied for 35th and 6th.
going to be a very good lap at all for Mike.
1593 is 37, so he's slower than both Nemechek and Waltrip. You have to beat 2 to get in, so Bliss really needs to pick it up.
I think he will. Looked a little better on this lap. Nope.
Not according to the watch.
Almost the same speed.
And if you think it's, when we talked about you got to remember to breathe, that's when you got a car you know's in a race. These guys they're on life support when they get ready to qualify.
So Nemechek is locked in. The slowest 2 are Waltrip and Bliss. Casey Mears in the smellmycar.com number 90, trying to make his first Cup race of 2010.
Now, one thing that this team did after Atlanta, they made an engine change. They actually migrated to the Earnhardt Childress engines, and so we know they should be in great shape under the hood.
Looks like a good lap. It is. It's better than Nemechek's, and Mears will race on Sunday for the first time this year.
First time in 2010.
Nice job by Keyed Up Motorsports.
I think he's looking for a little bit more. I think that first one was just a security lap.
And he fell off a 10th, Darrell.
Believe it or not.
Mears and Nemechek are in. Waltrip and Bliss are the bottom 2. Bobby Labonte's next. Bobby Labonte on track. His 21st place start at Atlanta is his best of 2010. This will be his 35th race at Bristol.
And this is a backup car, but as long as they presented their car for inspection with their race engine, since it happened before qualifying, he'll be able to start this race where he qualifies.
Now, he is slower than either Waltrip or Bliss, but remember that Labonte is a past champion of the sport, so he can use that provisional if needed. He's not needed it yet this year, but if necessary, that will get him in the show. Who is NASCAR Nation's next great superstar? Join Michael Waltrip as America's most unique performers cut loose and compete for their chance at stardom. Catch an all-new Fast Track to Fame this Monday on Speed, 8 p.m. Eastern.
You know, the people I've seen on that show, I mean, you're talking about people that are singing their heart out. Whatever it is they're doing, they're giving it their absolute all they've got. Just like this guy right here. Yeah.
Max tweeted today, horrible start to the day, but now I'm going to delete my memories and go with pure instinct and see how we do. He's got to beat 1584 to be sure of being in the show.
I think he did on that lap.
No, 1601.
This doesn't look any better.
No, he needs 2/10.
Yeah, Max
to be sure of racing.
Attempted to race here in August and did not qualify.
No.
Round he goes. It's a road racer from Como, Italy, who last week went to Hickory to run a tune-up on the short track there. Who, not including Bobby Labonte, are Bliss and Pappas. And here is Dave Blaney, who has an outside pole here and was one of the quicker go-homers in practice. Matt?
And Casey Mears, can you describe the relief?
Oh man, it feels good. It's been a long first few races here, but everybody's working real hard over at Get Up Motorsports, and Raymond's committed to making the program better. He stepped up and got some ECR motors for this weekend, which is a big help. And it just feels good. We get to go racing now, have a stress-free Saturday, and work on race trim, and hopefully have some fun on Sunday.
Dave Blaney continues his string of great qualifying runs, 3rd quickest.
Remember what happened to him last year, don't you?
Or with blank quarter panels, can go out there and qualify Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and a host of others.
Gives Toyota 2 of the top 3 along with Kurt Busch's Dodge. Now here was another big surprise in practice. Terry Cook, veteran of the Camping World Truck Series, has not qualified for a race this year, but he was near the top of the practice chart all day with this Dodge. The slowest two, Bliss and Pappas.
A little late back to the gas, but got to remember something. He's just trying to beat a 1593 here.
He's one of those walking that tightrope of not underdriving or overdriving.
Got to get a little bit more, I think.
That'll do it. 1587 is just enough. Quicker than Mike Bliss. Terry Cook will race on Sunday.
So two cars that has not qualified for a show in 2010. They'll both race on Sunday, Terry Cook and Casey Mears.
He moved up. He got him at first look.
38th for Terry Cook. Monday night on Speed, stop by the garage for NASCAR Race Hub. Get the latest news and hear from NASCAR's biggest names. NASCAR Race Hub presented by Hooters. Monday night, 7:30 Eastern, only on Speed. Eric Almirola missed the show at Daytona and Atlanta. Has his best ever Cup finish here. That was 8th in this race 2 years ago. And the slowest two right now, Bliss and Pappas. So again, a 1593 is the time to beat for Almirola.
I believe he's going to be in pretty good shape, Mike. Looks like he'll make his third start of 2010. Yeah, 27th quickest. So you know that 8th place finish, that was the year he was sharing the ride with Mark Martin driving for DEI. Mark was running a partial schedule, Eric filling in the gaps.
So Almirola is the second quickest of the go or go home crowd, and that will send Max Pappas home. So it comes